Okay, so today we're going to be adding in your frost date and your hardscapes into your GrowVeg garden planner. All right, so the simplest way for us to attack what we've got to do before we sit down behind the computer is we need to take some measurements. Now, the things that you got to measure. Well, one, you need to measure your garden area. Basically the area that you're either going to put raised beds in or the area that you're going to just do the row gardening. You need to know its length and its width. If you have any hardscapes in that area. So what is a hardscape? Well, that's things like sidewalks, arbors, light fixtures, drainage ditches, paths, decorational items, stuff you can't really just pick up and move without needing machinery or a whole day's worth of labor. Now, for us, we have a sidewalk, an arbor, a light fixture, this stump that Robin wants to turn into a table, and our drainage ditch. So, what we have to do is we got to measure the entire area first. Then, we need to measure the length and the width of the sidewalk. Then we've got to measure the distance with the arbor, the walking, basically how wide it is. We've got to measure how far the light post is from the sidewalk, from the drainage ditch, to try to get the best centered position to get it where it is. Same way with this stump over here. The distance from the stump to the sidewalk, the distance from the stump to where it pitches over, the distance from the stump to the patio, and the distance from the stump to the drainage ditch. So that way we've got the exact location, that way we can put that in our drawing. Then, in our case, we're using raised beds. So I need all of the measurements for the different raised beds that we have. So I know when I start playing around with them here in a minute, I'll know exactly the sizes that I have, so I know exactly where I can place them. Okay, so now that we've done that, let's go to the computer. Okay, so now we're back inside, behind the computer. We've got all of our measurements. So now it's time to set our frost dates and put in all of our numbers. So let's get to it. All right, so we're going to head on over to GrowVeg. Now, again, I want to remind you guys and ask you kindly that when you go to head over there, please use the links in the description so that way GrowVeg knows that you guys came from us. It would help us out tremendously. Okay, so we're over here, homepage. Start the garden planner. Let's click on that. Booga booga. Okay, now it may bring up a screen that's going to ask you to set up some Adobe stuff. It's free. Just click on it. Blam. Got nothing to worry about. Okay, boom. So here we are. All right. Now, because I've been using this garden planner for so long, a lot of my stuff is set up. You know, it goes with an email account, and so boom. All right, but for you guys, when you're just getting started, when you get to this screen, you're going to have to set your location and your frost dates. Okay? So the first thing that's going to come up is going to set your location. Just follow the directions that are on there. Click Find My Garden. It'll give it a dot on Google Maps. Again, it's not that big of a deal. It's not extremely accurate. But, boom, there it is. All right. So then it's going to automatically set your frost dates for you. If it doesn't, you can go in here and set them manually if you like. Depending on where you are, you may want to split your garden planner up into 2 growing seasons. And I do strongly suggest that you include the perennial plants and when they're sending the emails to remind you when to plant. Then save and close it. Okay, so then now that's done. Now, you'll go to a new plan. First thing you got to do is name your plan. So I'm going to name my garden Grow Foods, Not Lawns. Okay, for the year is 2019. Now this is where you start plugging in your numbers. Ours is 47 by 50 feet. All right. If you want to put it in the metric system, you can. I use feet and inches. Click OK. It's going to connect with the server. Boom. Now, when it's your first time, it's going to go ahead and create a plant list for you based upon your zone. So that's a good indicator of whether or not you want to grow something. If it's not on your plant list, more than likely it will not grow in your area, or it's going to be extremely difficult. So, we got from 0 to 47. It only shows 46, but you got the last little notch, this last square right here, which makes it 47. Boom. All the way down to your 50 mark. Boom. Okay. So, there's the basic plot that we measured out from my front yard. From the drainage ditch to the house, from the far side of the sidewalk to where it drops off. Whammo. There it is. There's my plot. This is all the room that I have to work with, right? Wrong. What do I have to add in? Well, this is where you have to take the time and add in what's called your hardscapes. All right, so my very first hardscape is going to be my sidewalk. So I'm putting my sidewalk over here. Okay, so in order to do that, you see this right here? This thing right here, it's got a drop-down menu. Click on it. Now, this will tell you everything. You can click on it, which I do, to put up everything. Eventually, you'll have favorites, all plants. It'll do just vegetables, herbs, fruit and nut trees, just flowers, cover crops. All right. Now, I know because I've been using this for a while, and one of the things that you do have to remember, this company is from across the pond. So, they call things differently. We call them potato wedges. They call them chips. They've got different words for different things that don't match up with our words. So you may have to go searching for something. But for the most part, they keep it relatively neutral. Like, they don't have sidewalks in here, but they've got paths. Now, when you put paths out there, see, they got asphalt. How can you see? I ain't clicked back over yet. Boom. All right, they got paths. It was under P. Okay, they got stones, asphalt, brick, crazy pavings, gravel, large pebble, path pebble. Okay. I'm going to grab this path right here because this looks as close as I can get to concrete. Now, boom. Put it up there. Turn it so I can run it long ways. Because my sidewalk is 4 foot wide, but it runs the length of my garden area. So we'll set it in there. Grab. Now this little guy right here, he'll help you. 1, he can be a headache. And 2, he can be helpful. Now, he's to help you make curves, to turn it. So I do my best to try not to use it, but sometimes you don't have a choice. But thankfully, right now, I don't have to use it. And so you just grab it and drag. Okay, So that's one of my hardscapes in there. Now, we have some other things that are in my front yard that can't move out. One of them is a lamppost. Now, they don't have a lamppost in here. Okay? They don't even have lighting in here. Okay? So, one of the things that you can do is to come up here. You can see it all the way up here. You can draw different shapes. Okay, so I'm going to take my circle and I'm going to look here on my sheet and go, okay, from the porch to the lamppost is 40 feet. Okay? So, wait a minute, that doesn't make any sense. Sorry, wrong one. Okay. From the drain side to the lamppost is 9 feet 2 inches. All right, so let's grab this. All right. I'm sorry, from the sidewalk to the lamppost is 9 feet 10 inches. So it's right around 37. And then from the drain side down, it's about 9 feet. So boom. Get it like that. And then I make sure from the porch side. Right, boom. So that's just about right. Right in there. Now, of course, this diameter is at 1 foot and 8 inches. Well, my lamppost is not that big. So I bring it up. Right, 4 inches. Right about there. And that's where it is. Okay. Now, it's not very large, but I know what it is. Okay? So then I've got this big stump that I have to put in. Alright? So, I know I gotta scroll down here. Right? Scroll back up from the drain. 30 feet. Grab another circle. Alright, I already know that it's pretty much on this side somewhere. So we're going to put the circle there. Alright. Now, from the field side over to my stump is about 17 feet. So I have to scroll down here until I get it. Now, this is one of the things that's kind of hard, but it's going to intersect right there. I'm going to grab it over and put it like right there. And then double click on it to make sure that I've got it right. Let's see. That should be 30 feet. feet 10 inches, and then 17 feet. Boom. Okay. Now that moved it. I got it roughly there, and then that put it in the position. Now, granted, as soon as I put it on there, I could have clicked on it and then done like that. But where's the fun in that, right? All right. Let's see. What else do I got? Okay, I have my Arbor. Okay. Now, my Arbor, let me click back on here. Boom. I know. It's going to be right in here. Okay. So if I go over here and go A, it should have an Arbor for me. And I click right down like that. Boom. All right. Double click on it. All right. The width of my Arbor. Let me see where Blaze put it down for me. It don't look like he did. Okay. Well, I know for a fact it's a little bit, I think it's like 4 foot 6 inches, because I know it's wider than my sidewalk. All right, and its height is 6 foot. Done. Hey, boom. There's my Arbor. Matter of fact, let me come on out like this. See, and I can adjust it like that. Wham. Okay, there's my Arbor. Boom. Now, in my case, that's all of my hardscapes. Okay, so I got all my hardscapes in, at least for me. Now, if you're going to be doing raised beds, sit back for a second. Take a drink of tea. If you're going to be doing just rows from here, what you do is, let me put you back on here. Put you back up here. Boom. What you do is you can come up here and you can grab, let's go to S. All right, let's grab some, let's go tomatoes. Everybody likes tomatoes. Boom, tomato, right? Put it on there. Grab a corner and drag it out. Okay? There's your tomatoes. Now you hover over it. It says tomato large. You're going to have 28 plants. Your row length is going to be 42 feet, 11 inches. And then you definitely want to do this. You want to mark your paths so that way you don't get confused when you print this out and take it out there. Okay? If you're using wood chips or grass clippings or whatever, just pick something that kind of resembles it so you know that it's going to be a path. Put your path down in there. Okay? And then stretch it out. Okay? If you're doing rows in a row bed garden, bam. You can sit back and enjoy the rest of the video. Let your right hand take a break. Okay? But we're not doing that in this for us. Okay? We are going to be trying to figure out how to put raised beds. Now, they got raised beds, brick, minis, with supports, mini beds, plastic, wicker, and wood. Now, I'm going to be using wood. So then you just click on it. Okay. Boom. Double click. Double click. Thank you. And then I go down here to where it says size, right? And I have a raised bed that is, let's just go with this one. Okay. It is 3 foot. 3 foot wide. All right. By 10 feet long. Okay. Boom. All right. And there you have one bed already at your size. Now let me give you a little secret about raised beds. You don't want your raised beds any wider than 4 feet. That's about as far. You can only get halfway in from reaching on one side, halfway in. And then you go around the other side, and then you'll be able to reach about halfway in again. You got about 2 feet to be able to work with. So that way you can reach the middle on either side that you're going on with the raised bed. So that way you don't have to try to squeeze through stuff and where you could damage your plants. Okay, so back to here. Now, whoop. And now all I'm going to do is take these raised beds and go, okay, where do I want to put it? You know, can I put... Ooh. And be careful when you're doing it, because it will, if you grab somewhere near the square, it will mess you up a little bit. Then you got to double click on it again. Okay, so then you got to come back in here and fix it all. Just got to be careful. Put it where you think you want it. Okay. Boom. We can put one there. And then you just continuously punch in your raised bed sizes. Okay. Now my next one I have is a 3x3. Well, I'm just going to go ahead and place it first. Right. Let's say I place it. Let's say we try to make it like an L. Do a little L, kind of upside down. L, just for the grins. And this one is... Three by 3. Whoop. I can put it there. I could put a little space in between it here to mix them up. Boom. And then you just fill in your space with all of your raised beds. Now, I'm not going to bore you as I put out all of my raised beds here. You kind of get the gist of it. Plus, Robin's going to have to look at this, and we're going to move stuff even more around, and there'll be a lot of talking, a lot of moving. So, and that's one of the reasons why I'm so thankful for the GrowVeg, because it's a lot easier on my back to move them in the drawing than having to move them 500 times out there in the front yard. Okay, so the next time that we come back to talk about the GrowVeg, we're going to be adding our vegetables or our plants into our raised beds. We will show you how to do it in kind of like a row method. We'll show you how to do it in square foot gardening method. And we're going to show you how GrowVeg helps you pick your companion plants for that bed. So I hope you guys have found this video informative. I hope you guys, it helps you with setting up your GrowVeg garden planner. Thanks for coming by the Big Bear Homestead. God bless and have a nice day.